Hello, fellow clockers. I'm making up my own words now. I believe clockers are people that like clocks. Anyways, I reviewed this IN12 Nixie tube clock not too long ago, and I rather like it. It's pretty awesome. So, looking up, I did a search which Nixie tube, and this came up. You can search how to choose the right Nixie tube, and this website lists all the Russian Nixie tubes. And this is IN12. So IN12, these things last between 5 to maybe 7,500 hours. Okay. IN14 is up to 12,500. That's impressive. But I stumbled across a watch, which I think might use IN8. Let's see what that is. No, maybe it's not IN8. So anyways, if it is, it's 10,000. We'll find out. We'll just leave that open because I might be wrong on the tube itself. So this is a watch, supposedly. I bought it off AliExpress. 3.7 volts. There's a 90 milliamp hour battery. That's the model number, but it's not listed as that. It's just Nixie tube watch. You'll find it. Okay. Tanzanite Nixie tube watch. I don't know what that means. Wireless charger. It's made in China, like most things. There's a website though. Customer support, which I'll probably never use. It's nice packaging. I mean, it's nice enough to give away as a gift. This wasn't cheap, but in the realm of watches, I guess it was cheap. I mean, some watches cost as much as houses, so you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this for now. Let's see, how does this open? It's a cardboard sleeve, okay, and then a big heavy-duty box. Is this a sleeve or fold out? I don't rehearse my videos. So yeah, there's a nice reveal here. There's two magnets over here. They're super dense foam. Hold on. That's so dense I might want to put that in my airsoft. I think if I shot this with an airsoft gun, you wouldn't feel it. But then I'd be called a cheater when I play. So anyways, this is good. I'm gonna save that whenever I ship something on eBay. We have a user manual. Maybe the model is called Tanzanite. So I'm gonna try to get this up close so you can pause, and frankly I'll probably lose this manual myself. Standby time 15 days, moderate use 3 days. It's not always on. The in16 Nixie tubes. So where is that here in this list? in16, 13 millimeter height, and they last around 5,000 hours, so not too long. So you don't want to leave the numbers on all the time because they'll eventually burn out. Okay, what else is important on here? Aluminum body, 7,000 series, which is better than 6,000 series, is stronger. CNC'd, they're the dimensions of the case. It takes 2 watts and it charges in around 3 hours, and then so that's not too bad, I guess. Okay. Wrist lift wake. Okay. Sapphire glass, so it's going to be hard to scratch that thing, which is great. 3 seconds to turn on off. I just paused and read that. It's interesting. It makes sense it shows the hours first, but the minutes are actually backlit. And then it goes back to hours and minutes. Only minutes are backlit. So that, I guess that's what you need to remember. If it's backlit, you're looking at the minutes. I'll be honest with you, I don't make sense of that. This does make sense. We'll just figure out the angle. And then stopwatch is double clicking the lower button. Not that all. Well, that might be fun to watch actually. Alright, you can read that as you see fit. All I need to know is the indicator turns red to charge. Battery check, hold for 5 seconds. Adjusting the time. So basically it's all the upper button. So you double click, then you set the hours by clicking up and down for the hours. You double click again, then you're adjusting the minutes, and then I guess you double click again, you exit the time setting mode. Lift wake, we gotta see a flashing of 0. I'll get to that later. I don't even want to deal with that. So the instructions are a little confusing. This diagram has to do with the previous title. Lift, wrist lift wake. This text here, that's what this diagram is showing. So now this, 12-hour mode switching, that's what this diagram is showing. Alright, let's just fiddle around with the thing. So we do have what it looks like probably is like a it could be like a meter long charge cable. Yeah, sorry, I don't have a big enough booth, but that's 4 times over, so I'm gonna guess it's a meter cable. And it's nice that it has the adapter, so if you don't have the Type-C charge, you could just use the adapter with the old school USB type of thing. So I will go and plug that in as we speak. Okay, there's no light on it. It's interesting that this is hardwired. I almost feel it would be cool if this just had a USB on it, so if this cable goes bad, you could just swap out the cable. It says 15 watts on there, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could charge other watches or other devices. Output 5 watts up to 15 watts, so that's pretty powerful actually. Okay, so look at that. Pretty neat. Let's just see if there's anything under here. Probably no. That's glued in. That's a really nice box. I will keep the manual handy though. Alright. Just the camera there. So you notice it's not turning on or anything like that. I'm going to try to close out that monitor there. Let's look at the band. That's interesting. There's absolutely no marking whatsoever on the back. But I guess you could use it as a mirror if you got food stuck in your teeth or something. It's just the nice, easy, replaceable bands. You know, like an iWatch or something like that. Just pull that over, band will pop out. Oh, yes. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't like the color of this band. I'm going to probably have to buy a different one eventually. But this is a 20mm width band. So that's the kind you want to order. I'm going to guess it is silicone, so probably shouldn't be too many allergic reactions to it. It does have a stamped stainless buckle here. It's like a matte finish. It looks kind of nice. If it was just an all black band, I think that would have been better. But I'm going to guess they're going for the fact that these tubes are orange. You know, maybe that was the reasoning why. I guess we should take a look at how it looks on. So I have a roughly 6.5 inch wrist, which, oh wait, which is somewhere around 16, maybe 17, 16 or 17 centimeters, somewhere in the 6.5 inch range. So I guess I have to measure from that point to that point. I would say it's 24. Capable of holding a 24 centimeter wrist. Who the heck had, or a 9.5 inches? I don't know anyone with a wrist that big. Possible. I mean, if you're Andre the Giant, you know, I might as well just start charging this. Alright, so there's that red light that comes on. So, that's nice. I don't know if it actually mentioned the weight. Yeah, I looked at the packaging. I saw nothing about the weight, so if you don't like carrying heavy things on yourself, this thing is like 65 grams. Yeah, I don't have the whole cable in there, but I guess if you're gonna pack in a suitcase or something, I'm gonna guess maybe it's 100 grams total with the whole cable and all that stuff. One thing I was messing around here, it warns you that it's not charging correctly. See, there's like a blue light there. But if I drag it in the middle, it goes to a solid red. So I guess you really want to see that red LED to know that it's fully charging properly. Alright, we might as well go through the instructions in sequence here. So powering on and off, it says hold the upper button for 3 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. I guess that is off. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. Alright. So that's the hours. Blue means seconds, so it's 10:07. I mean minutes. It's 10:07 in minutes. There's no seconds here yet. So sleep mode. Enter sleep mode after 5 seconds. Alright, that preserves the display. Enter sleep mode in 10 seconds. So I guess you can adjust how long those numbers stay on. I'd rather have them go off quicker, so I'm going to leave it be. Oh, actually, it's probably already set at 1 minute. And wait a second. Enter sleep mode after 1 minute and 10 seconds in minute adjustment mode. I don't understand what the deal is with that. It's not telling me how to adjust it. Yeah, leave a comment if you know what that means. I guess the wrist wake up is not enabled, so maybe that'll come later. We'll have to mess with that later. I fiddled around, and this stopwatch mode is pretty stupid. Call it what it is. So you can look at this diagram here, but first I gotta let the time cycle through until it goes black. Okay, double click the lower button. Those scrolling numbers means you're ready to start timing. So then I single click the lower button. Now you'll see 1 second, 2, 3, 4. So I think it's cool that, you know, all the numbers scroll through. Now if I want to pause, it says here, single click. Now it's stopped at 12 seconds. Okay. But now it says resume timing, and this is where it goes wrong. I'm supposed to single click this again. But you see, it's not timing anymore. It doesn't start at 13. It's just waiting again. So if I single click again, it starts again. 1, 2, 3. So it's not pausing. This is poor English. This is stopping. You don't have a pause function, basically. So, right? That was the reset. So you just got to think of it here. I'm ready to time. I'm timing now. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. There. I stopped at 4 seconds. You can't start again. Right? Because it just waits again. So the instructions clearly, you know, they weren't written by someone that understands English. Alright, so if you want to get out of this, though, double click. Now we're back to the clock. Alright, setting the time. I gotta say, these instructions are horrible. It's not that they don't make sense. Anyways, to adjust the time, you gotta let the time cycle through. Now it's a black screen. You want to double click the top button. That one didn't work. You do it twice. And now when this first digit flashes like that, you're changing the hours. So I'm going to change it to 6:30 or something. So down. I think you have to do it. It times out. That's the issue. So you got to know what time it is. You can't sit there for even a moment. So I'm going to double click this again twice. There. Now 6. Now I double click again. Now this one flashes. Now I'm changing the minutes, going down. Let's just go to 6:40. Double click. There. 40, 6, 40. So I don't understand these instructions. They didn't make sense to me. You basically just want to see, you know, one of those tubes flashing. The first one, this one flashes and you're changing the hours. You double click, and that one flashes and you change the minutes, and you scroll up and down through the hours and minutes with that, and then you double click to get out. Alright. Let's see about this wrist lift wake. So double click, cycling that, I gotta go to 1, then double click. That didn't work. So 10 means it's off. 11 means it's 1. So I guess I have to double click to get out of this. No, I don't know. I didn't hit anything. So now the question is, will this turn on if I flick my wrist? It did. Let's just leave it horizontal. Yeah, alright. So that's convenient. I like that. But you can turn it off if you want, because if you went jogging or something, this thing would always be going off and draining the battery and, you know, shortening the life of those tubes. By the way, the diagram for that was on the next page. So we're going to ignore this. Now we're going to go to 24-hour mode switching. I've already gone and done this, but I can show you. So double click the upper button. Press the upper button until it's 2. I think it has to go through the cycling of the time first. Alright, double click the upper button. 2. Now double click. 21 means 12-hour format. 20 means, you know, 24-hour format. I'm going to go back to 21. Double click out. Alright, so I'm in a 12-hour format. This watch already has a problem. See, if I double press, there should be the menu, but nothing's there. Right? So I had to basically go through this wrist wake up without actually seeing any of the digits. So right now, here's the time. I'm going to go through this and I'm going to basically make it go back to wrist wake up. So I'm going to, I'm going to double click, press the upper button once for menu 1, double click again, menu 10, I'm going to basically adjust it, double click again, and it turns out. Alright, so now when this thing should have a wrist wake up, a wrist flick. Right? See, there it is. So basically now I'm going to go and turn this off. So I got to double click, click up once, double click, click up once, double click. Alright, the clock comes back. Now you're going to see that there's no wrist flick. Right? I also heard some metal clanging in there, so you don't want to flick this too fast. But anyways, it's clearly not clicking. It's not wrist flicking. So basically my menu selection isn't working anymore. So in order to make that 00 show up again, I just hit both of these buttons simultaneously, like twice, like that. I think once maybe the first time, and then twice the second time, and now the menus shows up again. So let me make sure. Yeah, so that's what you want to see. So those are the 3 choices, 0, 1, and 2. But if you don't see those 3 things flash, these 2 things flashing, just try that thing. So hopefully you won't run into that problem, but somewhere along the way, my sequence of buttons just randomly clicking stuff made it vanish. So it definitely looks, you know, it's a big watch for me, but it's not a super obnoxious, and luckily big watches seem to be acceptable. So it's pretty easy to put on that band, and it's definitely soft, a soft silicone band there. It's kind of a thick band, but I guess it has to be proportional to such a thick case here. So yeah, you see the wrist thing. I'm going to turn the lights off here because obviously I had to flick it like 4 times. Two. I'm flicking my wrist. 3. There, 3 times. I think it might take some practice to get the wrist flicking. I'm going to just hit the button now. Yeah, look at that. Let me try to focus a little closer. It's pretty hard. Yeah, my camera has a hard time picking up on the numbers, so I'm going to go into stopwatch mode. There. And let's see if we can focus. No, my phone, you know, mobile. Oh, there we go. It did come through. Look at that. That's really neat. So I'm going to hit start the stopwatch. You know, I suppose the camera is having a hard time focusing because the numbers are at different distances? I could be wrong. Anyways, that looks super cool, right? The depth of them. Alright, they're stacked up quite deep. The tops of the tubes. Yeah, very neat. So with the bright LED above us, you know, it's hard to see the digits, but I just want to see what's going on in there. You can see the whole board that's on there. It's so shiny though, my camera, my phone, it's having a hard time figuring out where to focus. Yeah, looks like maybe a transformer there at the top. Whole bunch of circuitry back there, and then the connectors. You'll notice the connectors on the right side are yellow, they're red on the left side. These things are long out of production, these Nixie tubes. They're made in the Cold War, so I guess whoever makes this watch just got what they could. Anyways, it's really, really neat. There's no screws, right? So I do wonder if you can service this. This feels like this is plastic. It has the sound of plastic, not glass. It's very shiny, of course. So possibly there's glue that you can maybe heat up, remove this, and maybe that's what gives you access. I don't know if it's actually waterproof or water resistant. It looks like it'd be water resistant, but I don't know for sure. There's some sort of etched, yeah, this is all etched in, like a laser rastered. So I don't think that's gonna scratch off. I can literally feel, and you can probably hear my fingernail getting into those grooves. So that's pretty nice. Just looking at the construction, I do feel this whole body is one piece of aluminum down here at least. Like this is part of this, it looks like. This is a separate piece, the bezel. And then these are, maybe those are screwed in, these hexagons, I'm not sure. Okay. So you can see this just the brightness difference, right? Between the IN-12 and these ones in the watch. But I gotta say, it's still pretty impressive, I think, the brightness of this. On a sunny day, yeah, I'm thinking you're gonna have a hard time maybe seeing what time it is. But just get a real watch then. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Really interesting, these Nixie tubes. They're really fun to look at. Just keep in mind, they're not meant to last forever. 5,000 hours, I think, is what the ones in this watch say. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next random gadget review.